Hello everyone, and welcome back to Connections. Last time on Connections, we ended up in a Renaissance-era town where we met up with Galileo, fixed his telescope, and then proceeded to use his shrinking machine to enter a bottle ship on his dresser. Inside the bottle ship, we ended up playing with some four-dimensional tables for some reason, all to end up at this door that looks like it leads to Egypt somewhere. Well, considering there's no other way for us to go, I guess we'll enter through and see what happens. Welcome to the final level of the game. It's been a long time since we started this thing. That's been a little slow, but here we are, finally at what will be our certainly greatest challenge, I'm sure, right? Final level always needs to be the hardest. Well, I guess we'll see about that. Now, this level is a little different than any of the other levels. Well, the other levels are more traditional point-and-click adventure fare. You go around and you do different things to accomplish things in other areas. This one's actually extremely linear, except the first section, which you'll see in a moment. So our current objective is to enter the Sphinx. And to do so, we need to know a password.
Do you know the password?
Seems a little bored at his job. Now, I actually do know the password, and I could enter it right now. But this wouldn't really be much of an LP if I started skipping puzzles now, would it? So instead, I'm going to go back and show you how to get that password. So over here, we have this little camp set up, and I'm guessing probably some sort of archaeologist or something sitting at a table here.
Hello. Won't you join me for a cup of tea? Let's have some fun with this, what do you say? I'm very fond of match puzzles, and I've got a great one for you. You solve it, and I'll give you your cup of tea. Okay. Remove 3 matches to leave just 3 of the same size squares.
This has seemed very Professor Layton-like. People just sitting around offering puzzles for menial rewards. Well, I guess we'll solve her puzzle anyways. It's quite simple, really.
Oh, that was too easy. Hey, I've got another one. Oh, you're right. A deal's a deal. Here's your cup of tea.
Teacups like this one and other porcelain things from China were tremendously popular with the Dutch in the 17th century. Imitation Chinese porcelain from Holland is the clue here for a connection to an English teacup maker called Wedgwood.
And then she just gets up and leaves. Now, if you didn't notice, that teacup was empty. Either she was bullshitting the entire time, or he managed to drink the entire cup of tea inside out. I don't know which to believe. Both are kind of ridiculous. But what's even more ridiculous is why we had to do that. We had to do that puzzle to get her to walk away, for who knows what reason. Maybe she got upset because we solved her puzzle. I don't know. So we could enter the tent. Inside the tent is where we will find the code to enter the Sphinx. Now over here, we have a cell phone and a fax line, which I will cancel out of because that's annoying. We need to print out a fax with the fax machine here, and this is a dock where we can print the cell phone. But the problem is that the fax machine has no power. If we go over, you can actually click on, there it is. You can see here is a wire leading outside the tent. And if we go back around and back outside, you can see that the wire leads to this generator here. Now this is probably what she really didn't want us toying with, was her truck and generator. But since she's gone, I don't think she'll mind if we do a little electrical work here. So this hose, we need to siphon gas from the car to the generator. Hopefully she doesn't plan on leaving here anytime soon. Now, this one's always been a bit tricky. You would normally think, well, okay, well, if I... First, you have to take this cap off. But you'd normally think
Not yet.
that you need to zoom in on the generator, click it, and then zoom in on the truck and click that. Because you can do both of these things to open the caps. And you made me think, oh, well, I need to do that to put the hose on. But actually, you need to have both in view. I don't know why there's that limitation, but maybe it's just the way the engine works. It's probably a limit on how you can solve puzzles. So, just need to hose it up, pull the cord. Oh god, that's loud. Thank goodness that's over. And now the fax machine has power. And it printed out some long string of letters. Now, there's two ways you can solve this puzzle. One which is ridiculously hard, and I'm not even going to bother trying because I could never do it. And one that's ridiculously simple. I'll show you the hard way first. So, you can watch the video and it can kind of teach you how to do this. I never understood it, and I don't care to understand it. But basically, you can use the code in this book to decode the letters on this string. The simple way to do it is to just wrap it around the pole, which is much easier. And you can see here the password to the Sphinx is hero. So that's what we will go type in.
You may pass.
Hopefully you enjoyed that because that's the most non-linear section in the entire level. The rest of this is traveling through the Sphinx and a quick series of puzzles.
Hi, honey. How was school? Would you like some nice hot pie? I'm just mixing the ingredients now. Want to give me a hand? The recipe calls for exactly 4/5 of a cup. Now this measure holds 1 cup, and this measure holds 3/5 of a cup.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but you know what? I stopped questioning this game ages ago. But I don't think there's any other game where you'll see someone dressed in ancient Egyptian garb, holding a rolling pin and standing in a 50s era kitchen. So you've probably seen this puzzle in many other video games before, and basically you just have to fill the 2 cups properly with 4/5. Now, I've never seen any sort of measuring cup divided into fifths, but I'm not going to question it here. Better do what she asks. So to do this, it's actually pretty simple, just a few simple movements. You put the 3 into the 5, that'll give us 3/5. Fill the 3 again, and put it into 5, which leaves 1 in here. Take the 5, empty it out, put it back, put that extra 1 in here, and then fill the 3, and fill it again.
Good, dear. Why don't you set the oven at 350 while I finish rolling out the crust?
No problem. I bake all the time at home. I can easily set the oven to 350 degrees. That's... There's an easy way to fix this. So what we need to do is over here you'll see a thermometer. It's a little hard to tell that is a thermometer at all. But we can't grab it because those are Siamese fighting fish, and they would most certainly bite your fingers off because they're hungry. So instead what we need is to give them this big old steak and stuff it in the fishbowl.
By the second law of thermodynamics, if you put hot gas next to cold gas, the two will mix up chaotically and end up at the same temperature. Now one day, a guy called Maxwell imagined an entity, call him Maxwell's demon, sitting between the two gases, taking only the coldest molecules of gas from the hot side and putting them on the cold side, and vice versa. So the hot gas got hotter and the cold gas colder. More order, but breaking the law of thermodynamics. Well, if your antagonist is Maxwell's demon, and he's supposed to create order, he's obviously gone crazy.
I'm not really sure if the first bit where he's behind the fishbowl is supposed to be silent or not. I've played through this level a few times recently to try and remember how to do it, and it's been silent every time, so... And I don't know which file it would be to check, but... that seems to be how it is. So now we can grab this thermometer, and if we go back to the oven and open it up, we can put the thermometer inside. Now, even though this is in hieroglyphics, the thermometer luckily is not. So we just need to adjust this, and I think it's this one. Oh, I guess we have to turn the oven on. That'd probably help. Oh, did I screw something up? Oh, it reset. Okay, there we go. Yep, 350.
Good dear. And here it is, my nice hot pie.
Oh, math jokes! Yeah, real knee slapper, that one. But that lets us continue on. I'm not really sure what was preventing us from going there, but I guess helping her out was the nice thing to do.
These darn coded doors. I'm gonna be late for work, and I've forgotten the code, and you know what that means. I can't remember the last two glyphs. I know they're on this wall somewhere.
Alright, so this one's a little less thinking and more of deduction. So as he said, they're on this wall only. These other walls, no point to them, just part of the room. Now, you'll notice that all these things are just kind of random characters, symbols. Everything on here is hieroglyphics except the appropriate symbols, so you just have to kind of look closely, and it's a little hard to tell because you can actually, even though the mouse doesn't say, you can click on each and every one of these hieroglyphics on the wall. So you have to start from the left and work your way right, because I think this is one of them, but I think this is the last one, so you can't click that until later. Let me see, there it is.
That's one. Just one more. Hallelujah! Hey, thanks for the help.
Guess it wouldn't be much of a adventure game if there wasn't a little bit of pixel hunting, right? So now I can go up here to... Ooh. Yeah, I'm not sure about that scene either. So this puzzle, I can't really call it much of a puzzle.
Pharaoh forgot his warship and wishes for you to fetch it for him.
Why me? Who knows? Probably has a billion lackeys that can do it for him. But no, I gotta do it. Not that it's hard or anything. We just have have to drain the water. Because, heaven forbid, we reach our hand over a full tub or anything. And grab it. It didn't move any closer. Could have easily grabbed it when it was full, but nope, gotta drain the water first. I don't know why. And then he's just gone. Whatever. Alright, now this is the final puzzle. So this puzzle, you can see we have light here, and this is a mirror, and it reflects to this little spot here. What we have to do is we have to light a fire here, and to do so we need wood, which we can get from this perfectly placed chair that was extremely fragile. And then we need, if we look in this urn, only this urn,
Some of the best vases in 17th century England were made by Josiah Wedgwood, who got his start repairing imitation Chinese porcelain known as Delftware. Delftware connects back to the teacup, and Wedgwood's interest in Egyptian designs connects to the hieroglyph. So, hieroglyph links to thermometer, to mathematical symbol, to code, to ship, to cellular telephone, radio static, strange noises from outer space, and the Big Bang, the secret of the universe. Not bad for Zen Buddhist tea drinkers and Florentine numbers freaks, eh? Which leaves only one question. What is the sound of one hand clapping?
mirror. Thanks for that. So we put the mirror here. Or I guess it's a magnifying glass. That'd make more sense. Gotta reuse those assets somehow. And that's it. After this, it's the final cutscene and the credits. Now, probably wondering how in the world we're going to defeat this guy. I mean, maybe it's some sort of boss fight or puzzles. Nope, you'll see in a second.
Welcome, wanderer. You've done the impossible. As the web has eroded into chaos, you've restored it at every turn. Congratulations. It's such a pity that you've come so far, only to fail now.
Not so fast, Chaos. We're not through with you yet. Here, take this. I've always wanted to do this. Well done. The web is restored. People's appreciation and understanding of the interconnectedness of history and invention and ideas is safe now, thanks to you. Oh, and here's a little souvenir for you. Take care.
Yeah, I'm still not really sure what they were thinking with an ending like that. I mean, how do you even fit an entire person on a CD-ROM from the mid-90s? Even if the ending is questionable, the game itself is still pretty fun, and I enjoy playing it from time to time. While it might not be the most high-quality FMV game, it's definitely not one of the bad ones either. Puzzles are pretty decent, and the level format has a nice change of pace from the more open adventure games that were made at the time. I really like the mishmash of time periods. It gives the game a really surreal feeling, almost like Myst in a way. But in the end, I'm glad I was able to share this game with so many people. Didn't really expect as much interest as there was, and to end up seeing other people LP the game later on was even better. I'm also glad I was finally able to accomplish something on this channel. Honestly didn't think I would follow through with the whole thing, even if it did end up taking 2 years to complete. As for what's next, well, I've got some ideas. In fact, I think I've already got something planned out that should happen pretty soon. But for what that might be, well, just have to wait a little longer.